The book of Isaiah is filled with powerful messages of hope and redemption. It speaks of God's unwavering love for his people and his promise to never leave them nor forsake them. In Isaiah chapter 43, verses 20 to 21, we encounter a passage that resonates deeply with believers throughout generations. It is a reminder that even in the most desolate of circumstances, God's provision and presence are always with us. These verses offer comfort and encouragement, reminding us that no matter what challenges we face, God is able to make a way where there seems to be no way. He is the God of miracles, and his power is limitless. When we feel lost and alone, we can turn to these words and be reminded of his unwavering faithfulness. This passage reminds us that we are never alone in our struggles. God is always with us, ready to guide us through the darkest valleys and lead us to a place of abundance. His love for us is unconditional, and his grace is sufficient for all our needs. Let us delve into these verses and uncover the profound truths they hold for our lives today.
To fully appreciate the significance of Isaiah 43, verses 20 to 21, we must first understand the historical context in which these words were spoken. The Israelites, God's chosen people, found themselves in a desperate situation. They were exiled in Babylon, far from their homeland, stripped of their freedom and longing for deliverance. Years of disobedience and turning away from God had led them to this desolate place. They had forgotten his promises and lost sight of his faithfulness. Yet even in their darkest hour, God had not forgotten his people.
He still had a plan for their lives, a plan of restoration and hope. Through the prophet Isaiah, God spoke words of comfort and encouragement to his weary people, reminding them of his unwavering love and his power to save. These words, though spoken centuries ago, still hold immense power and relevance for us today.
I will even make a road in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. Isaiah chapter 43, verse 19. This verse speaks of God's extraordinary ability to transform impossible situations. When we face what seems like an insurmountable obstacle, God promises to create a path forward. He is the God of the impossible, and he specializes in making a way when there seems to be no way. Just as he made a way for the Israelites through the Red Sea, he can make a way for us through our own personal wilderness experiences. He can part the waters of fear, doubt, and uncertainty, leading us to a place of peace and victory.
This promise is not limited to physical deliverance but extends to every area of our lives. When we feel lost and directionless, we can trust that God will guide our steps. When we face financial hardship, he will provide for our needs. When we are broken-hearted, he will bind up our wounds and give us beauty for ashes.
The imagery of rivers in the desert speaks of God's abundant provision. In arid and barren lands, rivers represent life, sustenance, and flourishing. God promises to provide for our needs in the most unexpected ways. He can open doors that no man can shut and cause streams of blessing to flow in our lives. Just as he miraculously provided water for the Israelites in the wilderness, he can quench our thirst and satisfy our hunger, both physically and spiritually. When we feel depleted and empty, we can draw strength and refreshment from the river of his presence. In his presence, there is fullness of joy and pleasures forevermore. God's provision is not limited to our basic needs, but it extends to every aspect of our being. He desires to see us prosper and live abundant lives.
Section 5, created for his glory, a people of praise. This people I have formed for myself, they shall show forth my praise. Isaiah 43, verse 21. God created us for a purpose, to bring him glory. We are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works. Our lives are meant to be a reflection of his love, grace, and power. When we experience his faithfulness and provision, we are called to share his goodness with the world. Our testimonies of his faithfulness become a source of encouragement and inspiration to others. We become living proof of his love and power. Every time we share our story, we point others to the source of our hope and strength. Our lives are meant to be a symphony of praise to our Creator. We are called to live in such a way that our actions, words, and thoughts bring honor to his name. We are his hands and feet, extending his love and compassion to a hurting world.
Section 6. Sovereignty and power, trusting in God's plan. Isaiah 43 verses 20 to 21 remind us of God's sovereignty and power. He is the one who controls the winds and the waves. He is the one who sets up kings and deposes them. Nothing is impossible for him. When we face challenges, we can trust that God is in control. He has a plan, and his plan is always for our good. Even when we don't understand what he is doing, we can rest assured that he is working all things together for our good and his glory. His ways are higher than our ways, and his thoughts are higher than our thoughts. When we surrender our lives to him, we can have peace in the midst of the storm. We can trust that he will never leave us nor forsake us. His love for us is unwavering and his power is limitless.
Section 7, Provision and Protection, Experiencing God's Faithfulness. Throughout the Bible, we see countless examples of God's provision and protection for his people. He provided manna from heaven for the Israelites in the wilderness. He protected Daniel in the lion's den. He delivered Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego from the fiery furnace. God is still in the business of providing for and protecting his children today. He may not always do it in the way we expect, but he is always faithful to his promises. When we trust in him, we will experience his faithfulness in our own lives. We will see his hand of provision in our finances. We will experience his protection from harm. We will witness his healing power in our bodies. God is a good father, and he delights in blessing his children.
Section 8. Living Testimonies, Sharing God's Goodness. When we experience God's miracles in our own lives, we have a responsibility to share them with others. Our testimonies of God's goodness can be a powerful tool for evangelism and encouragement. When people see how God has worked in our lives, it gives them hope that he can do the same for them. Our stories have the power to break down walls of doubt and unbelief. We don't have to be eloquent speakers or have extraordinary stories to share God's goodness. All we have to do is be willing to open our mouths and tell what he has done for us. Our simple testimonies can have a profound impact on the lives of those around us.
Section 9, Embracing God's Promises, A Journey of Faith. Living out the truths of Isaiah 43 verses 20 to 21 is a lifelong journey of faith. It's about trusting God even when we don't understand his plan. It's about believing his promises even when we don't see them fulfilled yet. It's about praising him in the midst of trials and thanking him during difficult times. This journey of faith is not always easy. There will be times when we doubt, times when we're afraid, and times when we want to give up. But even in those moments, God is faithful. He will never leave us nor forsake us. He will give us the strength to keep going. He will provide for our needs. He will guide our steps. All we have to do is keep our eyes fixed on him and keep moving forward in faith. Section 10. Conclusion. A life of praise and purpose. Isaiah 43 verses 20 to 21 offers us a message of hope and encouragement. It reminds us that no matter what challenges we face, God is with us. He is our provider, our protector, and our redeemer. He has a plan for our lives, and his plan is always for our good. As we go through life, let us remember these powerful truths. Let us trust in God's sovereignty and power. Let us embrace his promises and live lives of praise and purpose. Let us be living testimonies of his goodness and share his love with the world. When we do, we will experience the fullness of his blessings and fulfill the destiny he has planned for us. We will be a people who bring him glory, reflecting his light in a dark world. Kindly like, comment and share to others. God bless you.